Good morning, everyone. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And this is my pre-market analysis. So, yesterday, after major economic news, obviously, the Fed announced that there's going to be a 0.5% increase in interest rates, and also Jay Powell announced that, in his opinion, the economy was very strong, even though there's runaway inflation, that the labor market's tight, and that they're going to, obviously increase measures to try to taper back inflation, but that the economy is strong, even though there was a contraction in the first quarter. So, nonetheless, we have the result here, which is that the market jumped up about 1,000 points, almost a little less, in a couple hours yesterday, in the end of the day. So, where does that put us now as far as looking for a position or trying to see, where the direction is moving forward? As of right now, I'm not really even sure because I think I'm going to just let it play out for the next day or so, potentially. But it looks like on the larger time frames, let's go out to the daily. So obviously on the daily, yesterday closed very strong. I think that the bearish momentum is still intact. Really, for it to be bullish, I would say, not bullish, but to be, going back into, I would say, a bullish momentum and looking for more bullish moves, it would have to, I believe, break above this level here of 34,700 to about 34,900, roughly, call it 35,000. And then once it pushes back above that, then we could be looking for buys targeting higher areas, 35,600, 36,000 and change. But as of right now, this is just pushing back up because of the news yesterday. So let's see what the reaction is today at market open. I think one of two things will either happen. Either A, it will respect this level of support. I mean, I drew this random line here previously on lower time frames, here from a previous level of structure. Not that this is a hard, steadfast level of support, but I'm just, looking at it to see how that is correlating with where we are. It seems like price is kind of fluctuating this level. Drew my fib out from this level here, this low that was made, where the market, basically dropped down before it shot up during the 2 o'clock hour there. So drew a new fib from that point to that point. Right now it's hovering around the 23.6. Also, there is a major level of support and resistance here, daily level support and resistance of approximately 34,000 and 34,020 roughly. And then also weekly level support and resistance at about 34,200 roughly. So with all that in mind, I'm going to be looking for price to either give me some. I don't think I'm going to be getting into a move here during this session. I think I'm going to let it play out and perhaps get into a final move for the week, this time tomorrow roughly. But we'll see. I mean, I'll see what comes of the next few hours as well, leading into market open, and then obviously throughout New York session. But I'll be expecting for one of two things to occur. Either A, price is going to push back up, retest this high, and then it'll either push above this high and, bounce, break through this weekly support, create a new level of support that was resistance, and then push up. It could hit here and then push back down as well, this level of resistance, and then continue back down, retesting, this level here from previous week or so, roughly from April 26th, and push back down to then retest these levels here that it was at before news, or where we see here that's pushing down. I mean, maybe it just comes back up to about this level here and exhibits some signs of exhaustion and then continues to push down. So there's some room to play. I mean, there's a few different options really, not just two, but let me see. Here we have about 260 points, and then here is about 320 points to there. So yeah, so we'll see where it goes. Um, if I see prices comes up, retests here, comes back down to here, and it shows some exhaustion forming so a double bottom, that might be something to consider as far as an entry to the bullish side until it exhibits some real exhaustion, indicating that it's going to drop. Now, if price pushes up and it starts showing a lot of exhaustion here up top, then it would be a good idea to go bearish because number one, I think the overall bearish trend is still intact, even though now, on the larger time frames, it was a big bullish push, obviously because of the news that just hit yesterday. But I think overall it is still bearish. I mean, if we look here, I think overall we are still bearish. I mean, yes, there was a push up yesterday. It was pushing down. It was, at the very bottom of this range that it's been, it retested a level that it hit in March and even February of this year. So I don't think this makes it being into a bullish market yet. It's breaking. It looks like these levels of support, these levels of structure here, are resistance now possibly turn support here because of this news. I mean, this was all because of the news yesterday, basically. Um, this was the news yesterday. This was yesterday's candle, yeah. So breaking above this, yeah, but does that mean this necessarily bullish? No, I don't necessarily think so. So this candle here today, I mean, it might close breaking up here. Maybe it might close breaking down a little bit. I think it might just close pretty exhausted, something like this potentially. So might there be a move up or down? Yes. I mean, it's going to move somewhat. Don't know how much, obviously. But I think it might exhibit a condition like this potentially by the end of the day and then continue the bearish push downward because at the end of the day, Daddy J. Powell is saying all these things to try to bolster the economy and runaway inflation, which it is true. Everybody sees the runaway inflation, but I don't know. I mean, we all see things kind of slowing down. I think in a lot of aspects, certain industries not so much, but I don't know. Things are getting expensive. The work or the labor and employment pay wages is not keeping up with what inflation is currently what we're dealing with. So I think I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'm not trying to be a pessimist about the U.S. economy by any means. I mean, I hope the U.S. economy continues to be strong. I'm in the U.S. and I'm a proud American, but I just I don't know. I mean, the technicals are saying one thing, the overall market is saying one thing, and then here we have the chairman of the Fed saying something different. So I mean, does that indicate necessarily we're going bullish? I don't know. We'll see. But I think that as far as markets go, where all that, not to digress too much, but where all this comes into play is that, are we looking for a bullish or a bearish bias still? I think we really are still bearish. Really, there was a big push up yesterday, but I think we're still bearish. So mostly I would like to be targeting maybe a retest of this high and then put a stop, somewhere up here, 100 points out. If it hits that 100 points out, then I know, all right, we're really still going in that bullish direction, and I'll recalibrate. But I think, there's a better opportunity for that, a larger potential opportunity, because we get in somewhere up here, stop somewhere out here, and then targeting somewhere down here. That looks like a lot more of in my opinion, a logical move, and also keeping in mind the overall trend still on the larger time frames appears to be bearish, then, maybe it bounces around in here a little bit, and then I'm going to target, the upside, and then, have my stop somewhere around here, but my stop's not going to be all the way down here, obviously. So my stop's going to have to be somewhere within structure, so could get hit easily, basically. And then in addition, what is my upside? Okay, I'm going to target this high, and then what's beyond this high? I got to target maybe this and here or this and here, so it's the upside doesn't seem potentially as much. And then there's a lot more potential risk versus this is something that is more like, okay, I'm going to test this out. I'm going to see how it works. If it goes against me and it keeps moving up another 100 points, then screw it. Then I was wrong and I'll recalibrate. But if I'm right it's moving in still the overall larger bias. And I'm going to retouch all these levels that it was just at not that long ago, a couple of days ago, last week actually. So versus these levels, it hasn't been here since well, the week before, and then earlier in the month of April, and going back to March and so forth. So, but again, I think most importantly, overall, I think we are still looking kind of bearish. We do have a double bottom here formed on the larger time frame, yes, but we'll see how that all plays out. If it breaks above these levels, then I would say definitely it's going to be time to look for recalibration, at least for the short term, of bullish moves to test these highs here, and obviously seeing from there where to go. I mean, if it retests these levels here, definitely, and it breaks above these levels here, as I said earlier, of anywhere from 34.7 to about 35,000, then I think we're going to be looking for a lot more bullish moves at that point, as far as heavy bullish moves, not shorter term bullish moves. So with that, I am going to keep an eye on it today over the next few hours, see what the potential moves are, and I'll be back with you after New York session today.